here to talk about today are the shootings that have been occurring in Minnesota. And like I've said in previous videos, I was in law enforcement for 8 years. All right, I was a cop in like the worst era in time to be a police officer. It was interesting times during the George Floyd era. I was right in the middle of the summer of love. Didn't get to see any protesting where I was. Right, we had a couple Riri's out there standing in the sun shouting some George Floyd shit, and I'm like, bro, that shit's in Minnesota, bro. We in North Carolina. You know what I mean? But this is what I've been noticing in these situations, in these events, right? And we can just start with right here with old Alex Pretti, right? The media would present this guy, and I've seen people on my Facebook timeline, all kinds of people, like, he's one of us. Like, you should, sure. Listen, I don't want people dying over this. I don't think it's worth your life to be out here challenging federal agents over immigration policies. Okay, there's bigger things in America. Like, if people were this passionate about the Epstein files, I swear to God, you would find out how this government works and how this is all tied into the Somalian fraud too. All of this stuff is all tied into like one single source of how intelligence agencies run everything, right? They kind of run everything. Media, tech bros, it's everything. And this is all a distraction, right? This is them trying to George Floyd you, okay? Not saying George Floyd shouldn't have died. George Floyd's death was horrible. It was horrific. Shouldn't have seen it on camera, but let's just be honest here. Did anybody do anything? What came out of the protesting and the rioting? What did that accomplish? Nothing. It just created mass confusion, chaos, and nonsense, right? All to fit a certain political globalist mindset and idea. That's all it did. But this guy right here, Alex Pretti, this is like January 13th. So this is like a few weeks, this is like a week or so before he dies. And like what you're about to see here is like, this is not someone that's a, grandma with a sign, protesting because she's upset. This is a grown ass man, paid agitator. Okay.
On January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him.
Yeah, right there's that's an outstanding citizen just kicking ICE cars. Yeah.
Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy. On the morning on January 13th.
You see what this is? What this is that local law enforcement agencies like Minneapolis have basically been infiltrated and taken over by leftist and socialistic ideas. I myself can attest to this, okay? The defunding the police thing was a complete mirage, right? There is no way to defund the police. You have to have police in your city or people are going to just go absolutely insane, right? These people like Alex, and we'll get into the other female here in a second when we look at that. These people have been doing this and they've been getting paid for this, okay? And this has become a game. This has become something that they do on a regular, like when they get the call. I mean, good God, they're finding out now that they have a signal dispatching system to tell these people like Alex here where to go. You think that's just going to get a permit and holding a sign? This is not protesting. This is interfering into federal law enforcement operations. This is no different than hitting a dope house and then these idiots show up on the outside like, don't come outside. It's the same thing. You see a cop pulled over on the side of the road. You're gonna get out with your AR-15 and rack one in. And then he turns around with his gun. He's like, what are you doing? And you're like, oh, I'm just protecting the citizen in the car. Like, yeah, you're an idiot. You are an absolute idiot. I don't even know if this is YouTube friendly, but this is Alex dressed up as a transmission sexual, whatever. And I don't know if I could show this on YouTube, obviously. Probably not. But we'll just edit it out. But this, I believe this is the event leading up to his actual death. And first thing, guys, I want you to notice is the absolute mess of a noise that is going around. Again, this is not organic. This is a coordinated movement that is using a dispatching system to arrive on scene to do this to federal agents. And then they're getting mad when things happen. And we'll get to why people are carrying guns, right? It's your legal right to carry a gun, right? Carry a gun. But do you think it's a good idea to carry a gun into a high tense situation? Like, there's stipulations to this, right? Like, it's your right to carry a firearm, right? But it's not your right to bring a firearm, you know, out in the open into a fight and brandish it to people, right? Because that happens a lot in this country, right? And it really depends on your state, right? In Florida, you could pop somebody for hitting, you know, for damn rear-ending you and damn near get away with it. I mean, that's why George Zimmerman got off. He didn't get off because he was a white guy. George Zimmerman wasn't even white. Okay? Got off because of the Florida law. So I'm not one of these people that's going to stand here and tell you, like, don't carry a firearm. I'm all for carrying firearm, but it's bigger than firearms. I'm all for firearm responsibility and awareness, right? You don't always need to bring a gun to what you're doing, especially if you're using a dispatching system to go and disrupt federal investigations and federal operations, because that, sir, is how you become a face on a t-shirt. And I believe this is Alex right here, I believe. And as you can see, this linebacker of a ICE agent right here. I mean, the dude is just straight up boom saucing people. I mean, he is just boom saucing people, pepper spraying. And see what this is I guarantee you, I promise you, this is a former cop telling you this. These ICE agents know who these guys are. They've been running into these people. I promise you. These actions right here, that right there, he knows exactly who Alex is. I promise you. I want to be able to zoom in to see if I can see. Absolutely horrific. Obviously, we can't show that on YouTube. I'm going to have to blur all that out. This is what happens when you have allowed people within these states and these areas to operate without any repercussions for their actions and burn down cities and do all kinds of nonsense. I'm not saying that they need to die, but we also got to face a reality here that, you know, this is what happens. You're not gonna sit here and try to play, this gentleman right here. Listen, I'm not saying he's not a bad guy, dude. Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. Like, I'm sure he was a good guy, but it's like, was he a good guy for being out and being part of a complete an illegal operation? Imagine if they were doing this inside of a city. I mean, this is completely illegal. Like, you're committing a crime the moment that you impede on federal investigations, and you don't get to do that. And the people that are telling these people to do this are the ones that Donald Trump needs to be going after, in my personal opinion. Because these people right here are stuck in psyops, right? He's in a psyop. He doesn't know it. He truly believes this, or he's being paid enough to go out and agitate and do it, right?
Did the officers who fired the fatal shots, did they have a reasonable perception of an imminent threat of death or serious bodily harm at the hands of Alex Pretti? And there's more than enough evidence to support such a reasonable perception. And it's important to keep in mind that they don't have to prove this. A prosecutor would have to disprove that reasonable perception beyond any reasonable doubt. And what facts do we have here? We have the ICE officers, one of them shoves a woman and then is subject to a felony assault, felony impeding. It's good for 8 years in a federal penitentiary by Alex Pretti. The other ICE officers, or CBP, come in to make his arrest. He's forcibly non-compliant with arrest. They know he has a gun because they hear gun, gun, gun shouted. A gunshot goes off. Alex Pretti, while being non-compliant, brings his hand into view with an object in his hand. It's not clear what it is. It might be a...
Would a officer reasonably have let me ask you a question, and this is what they would ask you in any law enforcement school or any police class. Would a reasonable officer feel in that moment that their life is in danger?
The phone, or maybe it's one of his spare magazines, but in any case, it's an object in his strong hand, and
it doesn't matter what it is. If you call the police and I put my hands in my pants, and the cop comes in my house and I refuse to take the hand out of my pants, okay? And the officer starts screaming, "Get your hands out your pants, get your hands out your pants." And I pull out a phone real fast and I point it at him and he shoots me. That is a completely justified shooting because that officer had reason to believe that his life would be in danger. You don't have time. Like, you guys think that there's like this, like it's a video game, or like it's, like you're playing Call of Duty and you get to come back, or like you get to make a decision. No, as someone who was on patrol for literally 8 years, the decisions that you make have to be made in seconds. Whether it's wrong or right, you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision and you have to make sure it's the right decision, or you'll die, or you'll get hurt, or you'll hurt someone else. And I could guarantee you that there's probably there's probably a slight little percentage of cops that want to show up to work and just absolutely destroy stuff. Sure. But I'd say 99% want to go to work, they want to have an easy day, and they want to go home. They don't want to be out here dealing with your BS. I promise you, if you idiots in Minnesota would just leave the ICE agents alone, like they kind of did in Charlotte, they'll just kind of go on about their business.
Are we now seeing organized Antifa groups and insurgents flood into Minneapolis from other parts of the country?
Yes.
I believe so. Being here in Minneapolis versus Portland looks like a cakewalk compared to here and what I'm seeing. A few minutes ago, you mentioned being governed by these people, and going back a little bit, especially what Cam exposed over the past couple of days, the signal gate. We were being followed, tailed.
Signal gate. Oh, these are screenshots. So this is how they're coordinating this on the Signal app. Okay. All right. Headed out to patrol about 1.5 hours. Let me know what you want. I have one-way Jeep circling my street to patrol. Bro, they're like genuinely like coordinating this. Like, this is like a police dispatch. This is like what undercover units. This is like what I did on street crimes, bro. We're like, hey, bro, we got one car leaving. Got massive dope in the car. It's like this is insane. How is this? How have we not? How is anyone in America not getting it? How are you not understanding? that these things that we've seen in the past 10 years are not organic. They're not organic. They weren't organic in the civil rights movement, okay? We're coming to a shift, okay? Our country has been occupied since the death of John F. Kennedy by globalists that are all in bed together. And what you're seeing here is the bottom of the barrel of this organization and this movement, okay? These Signal app Riris right here, they're just useful idiots in the moment to get the color revolution started.
Minute of scrolling here through the Southside Minneapolis Rapid Response Ice Chaser Signal Group. You can see them actively checking plates, calling intersections, calling out chase agents. This is organized obstruction of federal law enforcement. It's a conspiracy to impede federal law enforcement. To remind everybody, when you're engaged in a conspiracy, everybody involved in the conspiracy is responsible for the foreseeable consequences of the conspiracy.
Imagine with Charlie, imagine when Charlie Kirk died, if there was like protesting inside of the Utah building while they were trying to like run the crime scene. I would have drove Candace Owens crazy. I would have drove her crazy. But like, it's like, that is the exact same thing as what's happening right now. Only this is proving that all of this is coordinated. Alex Pretti, the other female, was the supposed soccer mom that was, not with her children. Like, I hate how they do that. They're like, oh, she was just a soccer mom trying to take care of her kids. Where were her children? Because I'm married and my wife's not out here blocking ICE agents and cul-de-sacs.
Everyone involved is now engaged in federal felony, impeding a federal law enforcement in good for 8 years. And maybe much worse, maybe they're responsible for the death of Alex Pretti. One of the reports here is that the lieutenant governor herself, Peggy Flanagan, a far-left progressive fascist, big supporter of trans rights, whatever that is a dispatch administrator.
Oh, it's called oil changes, okay? It's called an oil change. Transmission fluid needs to be changed out.
An authoritative figure, not just like an observer on the Signals chat. She's a boss. Signalgate, Minnesota Lieutenant Governor involvement. Flan, her name is Flanagan. Flan has been exposed. Look at this communication. Why would we be in trouble? Relax, says one of these insurrectionists. Another one responds, the Signal platform is not secure. It's been breached, Cam Higbee. I've worked in communications. Once they figured out where we were, it's only a matter of time. Flan herself, the boss, has been exposed. We're all effed. I need to leave this state. You think that's going to be far enough for Trump not to find you?
Yeah.
I need to leave this state. Uh-oh. Should I leave too? Maybe best to get out of the country entirely. By the way, flight from a crime is traditionally what we refer to as consciousness of guilt evidence. Evidence that not only would a prosecutor think what you're doing is unlawful, you think what you're doing is unlawful and you don't want to be captured and held accountable.
Hell no, they don't. Hell no, they don't. I mean, they're literally coordinating this. But you see, here's the thing. This is not new. This is not something that this has been going on, okay? This has been going on. This has been going on since the BLM Michael Brown era. I mean, ask yourself the question, do you really think that that's organic? Right? Like, it's been proven that Michael Brown's hands were never up. All of that was fabricated. Not saying he shouldn't have died. I'm not saying that. And that's what people always go, but did he deserve to die? No, nobody deserves to die. No. But this is not organic. None of it is organic. And I don't know what it's going to take for you conservatives and libertarians or just like, yeah, like whatever you are, bro, just like a common sense grown adult who's able to make a rational thought. Like the fact that you like you need to wake up. You need to accept this, that this is how our country has been ran. It's been ran on fabricated information.
People who want it,
it's all dominated in the algorithms. They're all built like, you don't get to see someone in your algorithm that's like you, or, you know, it's always some like extreme version of the like person that you hate the most, right? Or you think you do. You're like, oh, some lefty blue-haired, you know, person from Washington, right? And you're like, that's all you see on your X and TikTok, right? And it's the same thing for them. All they see is the dumb idiots on the right saying nonsense over there. So it's all built to divide us, right? But we're past that. The Great Divide has already occurred, right? It happened while you were shoved in your house during the Diddy cough. That's what I call it, the Diddy cough. That's when it happened. We're nearing the Kansas massacre. We're getting near the Boston massacre here, right? We're talking about potential color revolution with these people.
This job and these people who want to.
And what's funny with old Hammond here is they want to impeach him and call him a Nazi and all this and how bad he is. Little did you know, that's the same guy that worked for Obama and deported like 4 times the amount of illegal immigrants under the Obama administration. Did you know that? I'm sure you didn't.
Say follow ICE,
He's a Nazi,
film
whatever.
ICE. You know what? You can protest. They have that right. But when you cross that line, and we've proven it, if you interfere or impede or assault an ICE officer, you will be prosecuted. And one thing I'm pushing for right now, Laura, we're going to create a database. Those people that are arrested for interference, impeding,
We're going to create a website.
We're going to make them famous. We're going to put their face on TV. We're going to let their
make a Facebook account.
Employers in their neighborhoods, in their schools.
They don't got jobs, Ham. They ain't got jobs. That is their job.
Know who these people are. Because as you said, a lot of these people, they say they're taking time off work to protest. I bet you a lot of them are calling in sick. I bet you a lot of their employers don't know what they're doing. But we're going to make sure.
That is their job, Holman. Good Lord. You are literally over the agency that is like involved in this. None of these people have employment. That is their employment. That's probably their W-2 in Minnesota. I'm sure Tim Walz has got some bill somewhere,
Because Cam Higbee is out there doing that work. I'm gonna say it right now, Cam Higbee already posted this, but Cam Higbee didn't kill himself. I'm just saying, in case we get to that point. Signal chat leak last night. Does this woman look familiar? How about now?
Okay.
I can't wait any longer. You know who that is? That's a campaign advisor to Governor Tim Walz. This is another conservative Christmas. This looks really great for our midterms. This is Amanda Kohler, found in a leaked signal chat leaked by Cam Higbee out there doing the Lord's work. She was in a signal chat. She was an admin of the chat, and this chat organized the protest on the airport. This chat is actively, as we speak, doxing ICE agents. And you know who one of the admins is? Tim Walz's campaign advisor. Now there are also rumors, so far unconfirmed, but it's not looking great, that Tim Walz's lieutenant governor is also in the signal chat. Isn't she running for governor of Minnesota? Now some people have said, well, there's about 700 to 750 people in that chat. How can you say they're all guilty? And to that I say, well, the same way you incriminate.
It's called a conspiracy.
Broken into by a conservative journalist. He got into the left's coordinate.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Like I said, this is just me BSing. We're on here just scrolling, talking. I really don't have a video idea this week. I'm kind of just paying attention to BS this week. Get back to some little mini documentaries here soon. We'll see what's going on. Those take a lot of time. But, yeah, I like just coming on here and BSing, man. If you guys wouldn't mind, like this video and go and subscribe. Gonna be trying to drop content daily, I'll try to keep it updated as possible. You know, give you some interesting stuff and interesting theories. I got a lot of opinions, so all right, I'm out.
First, we continue to touch currently and historic, opposed to the society. We should always